Hello, beautiful one. I hope you're doing great. I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. So it's a day 48, and in this lesson, we are going to practice the IELTS listening practice test with answers and proper explanation for achieving band 9. So before going to start our class, I just need to check whether you can hear me as well as the audio track. Okay, so just give me a few check to check out it.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you have to answer questions on what you hear. There'll be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will...
Okay, I'm quite sure that you can hear me as well as the audio track. So now we are going to listen the instruction from the man as he was talking. Okay, let's listen it from the beginning. Okay, let's start it. Let's move on.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you have to answer questions on what you hear. There'll be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played only once. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to your answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a librarian. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10.
So I hope you got the instruction from him as he was talking. Now we have another instruction as we can see it on the screen. So let's read it. Okay. So here it says no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. Okay. Just keep it in your mind that we are allowed to just write 3 words and or a number if we need it. Okay. Now let's listen it from question number 1, and here we can see the keyword for this question number 1 is surname. Now we are going to listen it for the person's surname. Okay, let's highlight it and let's listen it.
Bree, please.
Of course. Can I just see your student card?
Here you are.
Thank you. Let me just check. Your first name is Garba, G-A-R-B-A, and your surname is Buwal, B-U-W-A-L.
That's right.
Can I just get some additional information?
So I hope you got the surname as she was spelling it, B-U-W-A-L. Okay, I hope you got it. Now we are going to listen it for question number 2, and let's highlight keyword for this question number. Okay, local address. Okay, now we're going to listen it for local address. Let's listen it.
From you for our database. It won't take long.
Sure.
Could I have your address, please?
Here, in Newtown,
Yes.
16 Bridgeway Road.
Is Bridgeway written as one word?
Yes, it is.
So he was saying it's 16 Bridgeway Road, and the lady was asking, is Bridgeway written as one word? And the man was saying yes, it is. So we should write 16 Bridgeway, sorry, B-R-I-D-G, Bridgeway Road, R-O-N, Bridgeway Road. Okay, now let's listen it for question 3. Okay, here we can see it's all about date of birth. Okay, so let's listen it.
Thank you. Which city are you from? Just the city. I don't need the full address.
I'm from Lagos in Nigeria.
And your date of birth?
25th of May, 1983.
Which...
So he was saying 25th of May 1983. So the answer we should write is 25th May 1983. Okay, 25th May. I should write it capital letter. Okay, 1983. Now let's listen it for question number 4. course. Okay, let me highlight it.
Your date of birth?
25th of May, 1983.
Which course are you on?
MSc Engineering.
So MSc Engineering will be the answer. Let me put it. MSc ENGINERING. MSc Engineering. Okay. So now here we have another instruction to follow before going to the next. Okay, let's read it. No more than 3 words and okay, no more than 3 words number for each answer. Okay. Now let's listen to question number 5. Here we can see how many other UK universities have library open 24 hours. Okay, so how many? Let's listen it.
Thank you. That's all the personal data I need. Your library card will be ready tomorrow. Would you like to pick it up here, or shall I send it to your department?
I'll pick it up here. Could I just ask you a few questions?
Of course. What would you like to know?
I heard the library is open 24 hours a day. Is that correct?
It will be from the 1st of October, but now we're only open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. because this week is only for orientation. There are no formal classes at the university.
Okay, so the man was asking, I heard that the library is open 24 hours a day. Is it correct? And the lady is replying, library. The librarian was replying that it will be from the 1st of October, but now we are only open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the man was asking that library will open a few days very soon, but there is only open one. So the answer we should write is 1. Okay, let me put it. So you can write it in number or in word. It's up to you. Okay. Now let's listen for question number 6. What size photocopies are available at the library? So what size photocopies? Let's listen it.
I see. It's very unusual to have a library that's open 24 hours.
We are only the second university in the UK to offer this service. It was instantly popular when we introduced it on the 1st of March last academic year.
What facilities are available here? I missed the orientation, I'm afraid.
Well, you can see the 3 photocopiers over there by the large desk. The one nearest us is a colour copier.
How much does it cost to make copies?
5 pence for black and white and 10 pence for colour. Only A4 sized copies are available. On the other side of the room.
So she was saying only A4 size are available. So here we have to write A4 would be the answer. Okay. Now we are going to listen it for question number 7. How many entries are there on the library database? Okay. How many entries? Let's listen it.
Room by the windows, you can see the computers. They have a database of all our books, newspapers, magazines, and reports in the library. About 500,000 entries in all.
Okay, so she was saying about 500,000 entries. Okay, in all. So the answer we should write is 500,000. Let me put it. Okay. A million will be the answer. Okay. Now we are going to listen it for question number 8. Before that, we have another instruction to follow. So let's read it. No more than 3 words for each gap. Okay. So let's read the question now. It's not necessary to be blah blah on the lower floor of the library. So let me highlight keyword for this question. Not necessary to be what? Blah blah. Let's listen.
Are they connected to the internet?
Accommodation.
Those stairs lead to the rest of the library?
Yes. On this floor we have newspapers and magazines. Users are not required to be silent in this part of the library, but we do ask that the noise be kept to a minimum.
So she was saying user not to required to be silent in this part of the library. So here we should write is, and lady was saying, but we ask that noise be kept to a minimum. So you don't need to be silent. Okay, the silent will be the answer. Let me put it. ILT silent will be the answer. Okay. Now we are going to listen it for question number 9. So let's read the question. What is on the upper floor of the library? Okay. What? Highlight the keyword. Oops, sorry, it's not working. Okay, what? Upper floor. On the upper floor. Let's listen it.
Upstairs there are all the books and reports.
What's that room at the end there?
You mean at...
Okay, so she's saying upstairs. Upstairs there are all books and reports. So books and reports would be the answer. Let me highlight it. Sorry, let me put it. Books and reports. Okay. Now let's listen for question number 10. Is it always necessary to make an appointment to use the blah blah room? An appointment to use blah blah room. Let's listen it.
At the opposite end of the room to my desk. That's the video and DVD room. We have a small selection of videos and DVDs that students can view, but usually an appointment needs to be made in advance. However, this is not necessary if the room is not in use.
So she was talking about video and DVD room. Okay, so let me put it. Video and DVD. Now we are done with part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. Here we have question number 13, 11 to 13, and let's listen the let's read the instruction from screen as we can see it. Okay, now no more than 3 words and or a number for each cap. Okay, so just keep it in your mind that we're allowed to just write 3 words, and if we need it we can use also a number. Okay, but not more than 3. So student on courses lasting over a year are usually given until blah blah to leave the country. On courses lasting over a year are usually given until to leave the country. Let's listen it.
Well, thank you very much. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 20.
Hello everyone, I'm here to talk to you about extending your leave to remain in the UK. Let me just check that you are all from outside the European Economic Area. If you are from the EEA, this information does not apply to you. Okay, let's begin. The very first thing to do is to take note of the date that your entry clearance is valid until, or the date that your leave to remain in the UK will run out. This is the date when your current permission to be in the UK will expire. By this date, you should either leave the UK or extend your permission to be here. As a part of the initiative to attract more international students to the UK, many international students are now given permission to be in the UK for the full period of study. Students on courses of 12 months or more that end during the summer will usually be given permission to be in the UK until the 31st of October.
So she's saying the summer will usually given permission to be in the UK until the 31st October. So 31st October will be the answer. Let me put it. 31st October. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 12. You should send your application. Okay, send your application blah blah before your permission expire. Let's listen it.
Students on courses that do not follow the usual autumn to summer pattern will usually be given a period that includes 2 months at the end of the course for packing up and making arrangements to leave. However, some students are not given permission to be here for the whole of their course at the very beginning. If this has happened to you, you will have to apply for an extension of your permission to be here. Start preparing for the application about 2 months before your permission runs out. However, you should not normally make the application until 1 month before your permission runs out.
Okay, so she's saying you should not normally make the application until 1 month before your permission runs out. So 1 month would be the answer. Let me put it. 1 month would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen to question number 13. Your application must only include blah blah documents. Okay, let's listen it.
To apply to stay longer in the UK, you must take or send certain documents to the Home Office. The Home Office is the name we give to what people in most other countries call the Interior Ministry. They must be the originals and not photocopies.
They must be original and not photocopies. So we should write here original. Okay, let me put it. No. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 14 to 16 and okay, decide which three things all applicants must send when extending their leave to remain. 3 things all applicants must send. Okay, now let's listen it.
Which documents do you need to send? Your completed application form, Form FLRS, your passport and passports for each dependent if they are applying to extend.
So first the lady was saying your completed application from FLRS, your passport. So your passport, you can see it's here. Okay, but she was saying also you from FLRS, your passport. Okay, now let's listen it for the remaining.
Their stay in the UK with you. If your passport shows that you are required to register with the police, you must also send your police registration certificate and certificates for each dependent if they're applying to extend their stay in the UK with you. You also need to send a letter from your college or university stating that you are still enrolled on a full-time course of study or that you will be beginning another one.
So she's saying and also send and you also need to send a letter from your college or university. Okay, so here we can see a letter from your college or university saying that you are not a full-time course of study. Okay, so I think D would be the answer. Let's select it. Okay, let's listen for the remaining one.
Bank statements covering the past 3 months, or other evidence that you have enough money to continue to pay your fees and maintain yourself and any dependents. A recent passport-size photograph of yourself and similar photos of any.
A recent passport-size photos of yourself. So passport-size photo. Okay, yeah, I can select option F because it says a recent passport-size photograph of yourself. So this would be the answer. I hope you got it. Now let's listen in for question number 16, 17 to or 20. Let's read it. Answer the following questions using no more than 2 words and a number for each answer. Okay, we are just we're just allowed to write 2 words only, and if we need, we can also use a number for each gap. Okay, so just keep it in your mind. Now let's listen in for question number 17. When can you download the FLRS application form? So why can you download the FLRS application? Let's listen it.
Any of your dependents aged 6. FLRS stands for Further Leave to Remain Student. To get this form, you can download it from the Home Office website or our.
Okay, so Home Office website would be the answer as you were saying. Let me put it. Home Office website would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen in for question 18. Which postal okay oops, my cursor is not working. Okay, got it. Okay, let's read the question. Which postal service should you use when sending your application? So which postal service? Okay, let's listen it.
Ask at your college or university. When you are preparing to fill out the form, it is a good idea to read the guidance notes. You could also ask a student advisor or welfare officer at your institution for help. Now, where should you send your application? You can only send your application by post. Send your documents to FLRS, Immigration and Nationality Directorate, Sunshine House, 28 Wellington Road, London, W1A 2BY. Send your documents by recorded delivery and keep the receipt.
Okay, so should send your documents by recorded delivery. So recorded delivery will be the answer. Let me put it. Recorded delivery. Delivery will be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 19. Which organization has a 24-hour emergency line? So which organization? Okay, let's listen it.
As well as photocopies of everything you send. You can expect to wait at least 4 weeks and sometimes considerably longer before a decision on the application is made. I have some good news about the application deadline. According to new regulations, even if you do not have all these documents available, you must still make sure that you apply before your current permission to be in the UK expires. Enclose as many of the documents as you have and include a letter explaining what is missing, why it is missing, and when you will be able to send it to the Home Office. You will then be considered to have made your application in time. If your permission to be in the UK has already expired, contact either a student advisor or welfare officer at your college or university, or the Immigration Advisory Service on their 24-hour emergency line 011
Okay, so she was saying, you if your permission to be in the UK has already expired, contact either a student service advisor or welfare office at your college or university, or the immigration advisory service on their hours 24 hours 24-hour is a emergency line. Okay, so that means advisory service, immigration advisory service is able to give you 24-hour emergency service. Okay, so now we should try is immigration advisory service. Put the answer. Let me put it. Service. Okay, now let's listen and focus on the 20. How long do people have to appeal a decision? So how long? Let's listen it.
73789191 or via their website www.iasuk.org. Please note that if you do make a late application and the application is refused, you cannot appeal against that decision. If your application was made in time and if your application is refused, you will receive a letter from the Home Office telling you why. The letter will also tell you whether or not you have the right to appeal against the decision. If you made your original application in good time, before your current leave to remain had expired, then you should automatically be given the right to appeal. If you have the right to appeal, you will only have a few days in which to exercise.
A few days will be the answer. So let me put it. A few days. And she was saying, if you have the right to appeal, you only have a few days. Okay, so a few days will be the answer. Now let's listen for question number 21 to 25. Before that, we have another instruction to follow. Let's read it. No more than 2 words for each gap. Okay, so let's read the question for question number 21. The professor already knows something about Clara from her. So the professor already, okay, professor knows something about Clara. Okay, let's listen it.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30. Good morning. Your name is Claire Sanders, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, Claire, as we explained in the letter, in this interview I'd like to talk about some of the things that you mentioned in your application form, such as your experience and academic background.
I see.
Now, for your undergraduate degree, you studied geography, right?
That's...
Okay, so the professor was saying, well, Clara, as we explained in the letter, in this interview, I would like to talk about something, some of the things that you mentioned in your application form. Okay, so the professor knows something about Clara from her application form. So application form will be done. So let me put it. Okay, now let's listen to question number 2. Okay, so professor wants to ask Clara about her experience and let's listen it.
Now, for your undergraduate degree, you studied geography, right?
That's correct.
Now, such as your talk about some of the things that you mentioned in your application form, such as your experience and academic background.
I see.
such as your experience and academic background. Okay, so academic background would be the answer. Let me put it. Academic background would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it. Now let's listen it for question number 23. Laura studied at blah blah university. Let's listen it.
Form, such as your experience and academic background.
I see.
Now, for your undergraduate degree, you studied geography, right?
That's correct. At the Scottish National University.
So she was saying she studied. The man was asking that you studied geography, right? And the lady was replying that, and that's correct, at the Scottish National University. Okay, so the answer we should write is geography, as the man was saying. Okay, geography would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 24. Clara felt she would be more blah blah if she was further from her family. Okay,
SNU is a very prestigious university. Apart from that, were there any other reasons that you chose to study there?
Well, you're correct in suggesting that the main reason I went there was due to the superior quality of the university, but there were two other reasons. The first was that it is reasonably far from my home. I wanted to be as independent as possible from my family whilst I was studying.
so she's saying I wanted to be independent as possible from my family. So independent would be the answer. Let me put it. Independent would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen for question 25. Clara chose infrastructure as one of her blah blah optional courses. Let's listen it.
And felt that that was one way of achieving that aim. The other reason was that the university offered an excellent program of summer work in developing countries, and that's something I was very keen on.
That would be the Livingstone project.
That's right.
I'd like to return to that in a minute. Let me just check the optional courses you took in your third year.
The two compulsory courses.
So the man was asking for her third year course. So here we should write is third year. Okay, good. Third year would be the answer. Okay, now we are going to listen here for question 26 to 30, and we have an instruction to read. Okay, let's read it. No more than 3 words for each answer. Okay, let's read it for question number 26. Okay, what did Clara want to concentrate on in her study? Okay, want to concentrate on, let's listen it, on what?
The two compulsory courses were methodology in geography and statistical analysis. And I chose infrastructure, development issues, and geology in addition to those.
I see. You clearly decided to focus more on the human geography side of things.
Yes, I had worked on development projects abroad in addition to those. The two compulsory courses were methodology in geography and statistical analysis. And I chose infrastructure, development issues, and geology in addition to those.
I see. You clearly decided to focus more on the human geography side of things.
Yes, I had worked on development projects abroad for 2 summers.
Okay, so the male saying, I see you clearly decided to focus. Uh, you you clearly decided to focus on the human geography side of things. Okay, so here we should write is human geography. Okay, let me put it. Human geography, the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 27. During which time of the year did she work abroad? Which time she worked abroad? Let's
Summers as part of. Yes, I had worked on development projects abroad for 2 summers as part of the Livingston project.
Okay, so she was saying I had worked on development project abroad for 2 summers as part of the Livingston project. So the summer, during the summer. So the summer will be the answer, or you can just write summer. Let me put it summer. Okay. Now let's listen in for question number 28. What did she What didn't she like in India? Didn't like she what? Okay, let's listen it.
The first project was in India and the second was in Sierra Leone.
Could you tell me the main aims of the project and how you contributed?
The Indian project was to ensure that a village had adequate supplies of fresh water and adequate sanitation. On that project, my role was to help lay pipes and put together various pieces of equipment. The project in Sierra Leone involved improving the infrastructure. The aim was to create rudimentary roads between villages so that they could receive aid and so that they could get agricultural products, particularly fruit and vegetables, to the capital and larger towns. My job was to help choose the best route for the roads, minimizing any impact on the environment while maximizing efficiency.
How did you find the experiences?
The Indian project was helpful in that it was my first experience abroad, and I got to see how small development projects can really make a difference. However, I found the climate, well, it was extremely hot and humid, and we were doing a lot of physical work, so it was, well, it made you appreciate air conditioning for a start. The second project, well, I enjoyed that a lot more. There was some physical.
Okay, so she was saying, I found the climate well. It was extremely hot and humid, and we were doing a lot of physical work. So it was well. It made you appreciate your conditioning for a start. So yeah, all she was talking about climate. Okay, so let the answer we should write is climate. Let me put it. Okay. Now let's listen for question number 29. What the workers have to remove to make the roads in Sierra Leone? Okay, what work to remove? Let's listen it.
Work, but we had some machinery to help us clear paths through vegetation. I really enjoyed being able to put what I had learned into practice. For example,
Okay, so she was saying, but we have some machinery to help us clear paths through vegetation. So vegetation will be the answer. Let me put it. Vegetation will be the answer. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 30. What master's course does Clara plan to take? Let's listen it.
We had to choose a route on a map first of all, according to the contours of hills and valleys. Then we had to explore the ground and check that it was really a suitable route.
And now you've decided to take a master's degree in development studies as a result. Great. Well,
So development studies would be the answer. Okay, let me put it. Develop study. Okay, we are out of time. I need to restart it again. Just give me a few sec. Okay, so development study would be the answer. Let me put it as we listened. Study would be the answer. Okay, so that's all about part 3. Now we are going to listen it for part 4. Okay, let's start it from question number 31 to 35. Okay,
now listen.
so here we have another instruction to follow. So let's read it. No more than 3 words for each answer. Okay, so here we can see 3 columns are there, and first one is part, and second one is geography, and third one is in industries. Okay, now let's read it. Listen it for question number 31, part. Okay, or it's all about part, you can see, and let's listen it.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Welcome to this introductory lecture on the geography of the United Kingdom. The UK, with a total population of over 60 million, consists of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain comprises England.
So he was saying consistence of Great Britain and North Ireland. So Great Britain would be the answer. Let me put it. Great Britain would be. Oops, sorry, I got a mistake. Yeah, made a mistake. Great Britain. Okay, now let's listen it for question 32. Mostly lowland, upland in blah blah. Let's listen it.
Scotland and Wales. England is the largest country of the UK, with some 52 million people. It is mainly a lowland country, with some upland areas in the north and west. The capital is London, with about 7 million people. There are many manufacturing industries, and farming is widespread.
Okay, so it's saying England is the largest country of the UK with some 22 million people. It is mainly a lowland country with some upland areas in the north and west. So mostly lowland, upland in north and west, as you are saying. North and west. Okay, would be the answer. Now let's listen to question number 33. Scotland, blah blah, Glens village. Let's listen it. Okay, mountains, looks. Let's listen it.
But the economy is increasingly service-based, and London is one of the world's leading centres for banking, insurance, and other financial services. High-tech industries have replaced many of the more traditional ones. In Scotland, 5 million people live in an area not much smaller than England. The country boasts vast open spaces and is one of the last areas of unspoiled natural beauty in Europe, featuring mountains, lochs, that is lakes, and glens, that is valleys.
So here saying featuring mountains of blocks that lay there is legs and glens there is belly. So there is belly, but we are as you're saying legs. Okay, books and there is legs. So leg would be the answer. Let me put it legs. Okay, now let's listen to focus number 34 here. Okay, about walls, mountains, lakes. Let's listen it.
Modern industries including oil, electronics and biotechnology, as well as more traditional industries such as fishing and forestry, drive the economy. The largest city is Glasgow, but the capital is Edinburgh. Wales is home to 3 million people, and its geography is characterized by coastline, mountains and lakes.
Okay, so as he was saying, its geography is characterized by coastline, mountains and lakes. So mountain and lakes are here, we can see, but can't see. So mountains and lakes are here visible, but it's missing of coastline. Okay, let me put it. Why it's showing continuously problem with my PC? Just give me a few sec. Okay, so coastline would be the answer. Let me put it. C-O-S-T. Coastline would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen to focus number 35. Okay, electronic auto parts, blah blah, healthcare, professional service. Okay, let me highlight it and let's listen it.
Cardiff is the capital and largest city. Key industries include electronics, auto components, food processing, healthcare and professional service.
Okay, as he was saying, electronics auto companies, food processing. So food processing is missing here. So let me put it. Food processing will be the answer. Okay, now we are going to listen it for question number 36. Okay, here before that we have another instruction to follow. Let's read it. No more than 3 words and a number for each each answer. Okay, so let's listen the question first. Okay, what kind of weather do many foreigners think Britain has? What kind of what kind of weather? Okay, let's listen it.
More Japanese companies have set up shop in Wales than anywhere else in Europe. About 1.6 million people live in Northern Ireland, the capital of which is Belfast, the largest city. Residents enjoy beautiful countryside. Many new hotels are springing up to cater for increasing numbers of tourists and business travellers. The climate in the UK is moderate. Summers are fairly cool and winters are quite mild. And despite what many foreigners believe, British weather is not rain and fog. It is actually...
So as the man was saying, some foreigners believe British weather is not rain and fog. So a foreigner opinion is not rain and fog. So rain and fog would be the answer. Let me put it. Rain and fog would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen for question 37. Which is the driest month in London? So driest month in London, let me highlight it and let's listen it.
More comfortable, more varied and more interesting than that. What you can look forward to in the way of rain, sun, temperature and even daylight depends on where you will be living. Here are some typical figures for London. January is the coldest month at 3 degrees centigrade, whilst July is the hottest at 17 degrees centigrade. Rainfall varies from 56 millimeters in April to 81 millimeters in December. Although the UK is quite small geographically.
So the man was saying rainfall varies from 56 millimeter in the April to 81 millimeter in December. So it seems in April it's lower. So April would be the answer. Okay. PRLL, April would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 38. Okay, let's read the question. Which part of Britain tends to be driest? Let's listen it.
Graphically, the climate varies from one area to another. In general, the west is wetter and milder than the east, and northern areas are noticeably cooler than south.
So the man was saying the climate varies from one area to another. In general, the west is wetter and milder than east. So east is that means east is quite driest. So let me put it east. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 39. What is snow usual in winter? Let's
Southern ones. For example, compare the following temperatures with the London figures. Edinburgh, 14 degrees centigrade in July, and Manchester, 15 degrees centigrade in the same month. Edinburgh, 4 degrees centigrade in December. Is from 56 millimeters is quite small geographically. The climate is milder than the east, and northern areas are noticeably cooler than southern ones. For example, compare the following temperatures with the London figures. Edinburgh, 14 degrees centigrade in July, and Manchester, 15 degrees centigrade in the same month. Edinburgh, 4 degrees centigrade in January, and Manchester, 5 degrees centigrade in the same month. Parts of Scotland usually get snow in winter, whereas you might live in London for several years without seeing.
So he was saying parts of Scotland usually get snow in winter. So Scotland would be the answer. Let me put it. Scotland. Oh, sorry. Scotland would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 40 and the last one. When is the weather generally most variable?
A significant snowfall. International students who are used to tropical or equatorial climates are often intrigued by the sheer variety of the weather in the UK. Weather in the early spring tends to be especially changeable. You could be treated to rain, snow, thunder and lightning, hail and glorious spring sunshine, all in the course of a single day. That is the end of.
So you're saying weather in the early spring tends to be especially changeable. Okay, so early spring would be the answer. Let me put it. Early spring. Okay, so that's all about today's lesson. But before going to submit it and to show you the points how much we obtained today, I need to reclick each answer one more time because we was out of time in the middle of our practicing. So just give me a few seconds to reclick each answer one more time. Okay. Okay. Just keep with me. Okay, I'm done. Let's submit it and check how much we obtained today. Okay. Oops, we got 8.5 but not 9 out of 9, and we got mistake with 2 questions. Okay, let's see them. Okay, here we have another mistake. Oops, sorry, I got a mistake. Maybe it was a typing mistake. Not It's not 15 but it's 25. Okay, it was a mistake. Okay, it was typing mistake. Maybe I don't know why I wrote 15. Okay, good. Let's see the next one. Okay, I got it here. Development. Oops, sorry, I should have added another E here. Okay, after B, but unfortunately I didn't do that. Okay, so it was a typing mistake also. Okay, we don't made any mistake at all. Okay, so that's all about today's lesson. I'll suggest you to rewatch my previous classes, then you will be more confident to sit in the real exam. Okay, and I'll see you in the next class with another IELTS listening practice test. So till then, keep well and pray for me. So bye for now. Bye.